Morning. I've seen some really alarming statistics recently about the second wave of COVID and job losses. And a figure was being quoted of 800,000 job losses, and that in October it hit a record high in terms of redundancies. And when I think about the timing of that, it was actually around the time where furlough was coming to an end and the government hadn't at that point decided to extend furlough. And given that we are heading towards April, so the end of the furlough scheme, I think unfortunately there's going to be a lot of employers who are going to be considering their bottom line and how they emerge. And I think there potentially is going to be more redundancies to come. So I thought what might be helpful over the next kind of however long, few weeks or so, would be to do some content on redundancies to try to support small employers, especially because actually a third of all employers have admitted that they're not aware of their legal responsibilities around redundancy. So what is redundancy to begin with? A redundancy would happen in three circumstances: a business closure, so the whole business closes down; a workplace closure where a particular shop or a site or something like that, or an office closed down; or where there's been a cessation or a reduced need for work of a particular kind. And there's probably four key areas that I would say are absolutely essential to getting the redundancy process right. The first one is fair selection criteria. So having selection criteria that are really clear and really easy to understand is vital to the process, because that's what you're going to use to score your employees against in determining who will be made redundant and who won't be. And those criteria need to be objective and fairly applied. The second area is meaningful consultation. It's absolutely fundamental to a redundancy process being fair to carry out consultation with your employees, and that includes helping them understand why the decisions are being made, allowing them to respond to that and to give suggestions and ideas for reducing or stopping any redundancies happening, and for you to carefully consider those. If you don't consult, it's likely that the dismissal would be found to be automatically unfair. The fourth area is alternative employment. It's always important to consider whether there are any suitable alternative vacancies for anybody that has been selected for redundancy. Clearly, if you're a micro employer, that's going to be unlikely, but for other businesses, it should definitely be there as an attempt to seek alternatives if they exist. The fourth area is the right of appeal. Now, although there's no obligation in law to provide an appeal against a redundancy, ACAS do recommend it, and it is best practice, and it may also help to fend off employment tribunal claims, because you get an opportunity to reiterate the reasons why you're making the redundancy. So I think a fair redundancy process is absolutely vital. I think processes that are handled poorly in this area are not only detrimental to the employees going through the redundancy process, but they're also a real risk to you as a business, not only in terms of the cost of tribunal claims, but in terms of your reputation and the damage to your reputation, and also the low morale of employees that are remaining. So it's really important to consider a fair process. If you've got any concerns about a redundancy process or anything that you might be thinking about in the future, do give me a call or send me an email. My details are on the top of my LinkedIn profile. So there'll be more blogs to come, more information to come, where I'll go into a little bit more detail on some of these issues. Hope that was helpful. Bye.